Games that hold my attention is actually a good hope.
Games that, for me, it's games that aren't going to be pay to win.
That's always a hope.
The hope is that they don't do what it looks like they're trying to do, which is take a lot of the mobile cash cow kind of.
This is why we're going to talk about Diablo 4 in the next one.
Yeah. Felt chill in the air.
Oh, it's because it's snowing out.
That's true.
We're in the middle of a blizzard.
Also,
Are they calling it a blizzard? Winter storm.
I thought that it was the chill from the Ghost of Gaming Future.
Oh, that could also be it.
I'm thinking it might. Because now we get to think forward into the future. About... Yeah.
The world of tomorrow.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. And in the world of tomorrow, we think about games that are yet to be. Starting with just some tabletop stuff. I've made mention of it. I don't know if I've mentioned it on one of our recorded shows, though, which was that my plan this coming year is to run a game probably on our Discord channel with some people that might be interested in it. Probably doing Kids on Bikes. If I can get a copy of it. Right now it's a little bit hard to find one in print that isn't on the secondhand market. There is also the possibility of doing either Teens in Space or Kids on Brooms, which are from the Renegade Studios 2. Same basic system. Something that's going to be rules light, that's going to be easy to set up, and most importantly, something that you could probably do in like single session mystery kind of stuff, so that if individuals didn't show up for something else, it's okay. You kind of have self-contained stories that you don't have to do over long periods of time.
Nice.
More episodic stuff, which would be good. Something a little faster and more interesting that way. I've been looking at a lot of different systems that have much more basic rule sets than like a 5e or definitely a Pathfinder. Anything like that. Although I did try to look at Pathfinder and I was like, wow, I'm out of my depth here. But I've been looking at that. I've seen some other ones, like Blades in the Dark is one people have talked a lot about. Gumshoe is an interesting system that has some really interesting frameworks around it. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Been looking at that I'd like to try and play more of. Do you have any tabletop things that you're hoping to do?
I'm hoping to get both of the games that I backed on Kickstarter at some point this coming year.
That'd be good.
Avatar: The Last Airbenders RPG they did.
Yeah.
Which, they had booted Satine Phoenix from that entire thing.
Yes.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
And
I wonder what that was about.
I had no idea.
Okay.
And then the one David Somerville did with Atlas Games for 5e as a setting, which is Plain Gia. Still waiting for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to Primordial setting for D&D. That looked fun. I definitely have a copy of the PDF for that, and I think Avatar too. But if I'm gonna read a rule book, I don't want to do it on the screen. Oh, and then I have another one. I backed something by Chris Bissett. I think it was In Quiet Dark.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm waiting for that too. So those are a couple things I have incoming eventually here that I'd like to get.
Right. Quiet Dark, I think, is probably going to be coming to you sooner rather than later.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I've seen some rumblings.
There was a delay, so...
I haven't really backed anything of late. The last thing I think I backed was Coral Island, and I've gotten to actually play the early release of that.
Oh, yeah.
Although they have indeed been putting out a lot of content updates. There's like a whole road of content updates for the next year or so. So
that's good.
I've been kind of waiting to go back to play it until some of the bigger content updates come in. And I talked a little bit about the fact that it definitely has some missing content pieces that it needs to work on. But luckily, they're still working on it. They have plenty to go. I don't think I've really backed anything else on Kickstarter that's going to be coming out that I can remember.
Yeah, I don't typically back a whole lot on there anymore. part of that is because I don't want to wait 2 years for a product I paid for.
And a lot of them, if they have any, weight behind them, usually end up becoming available on, like, Steam. I noticed, too, with, like, Coral Island, is, like, what I paid to be, like, an alpha backer is pretty much what I would have paid now that it's just, like, released. And I didn't really play the alpha, which in retrospect I probably should have played the alpha.
I currently have access to, I was telling you before, the Rogue Traders alpha, and I've played a bit of that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like really terrible about it that I've noticed so far, so that's good, but
Sure.
I haven't played nearly as much as other people have.
Right. For some reason I thought that you were able to play a little Diablo 4.
Oh, yeah, I played the Diablo 4 beta. It is coming out in June.
It's coming out.
I'm not buying it.
Maybe we'll discuss that on the next episode.
Yeah, actually, we should talk about Diablo 4 a little bit. Yeah.
That's a good one for next episode, end of the year, spectacular, that we're doing. We'll discuss that in more detail. We have a little bit of understanding of some of the games that are going to be coming down the pike. Some of the ones that are on my Steam wish list, like Nightingale, is going to be an interesting one for me.
That one does look interesting.
I think I'm going to enjoy that one.
Greedfall 2.
Oh, they're going to do Greedfall 2? Oh, Spiders is really cranking them out. They had Steel Rising this year. They're going to be doing the other one. There was one that I just saw that's going to be coming out in 2023 called Pal World. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, I haven't.
Maybe we'll look at it together at some point. It looks
okay.
It's I'll send you a link. It's something.
Something.
It's something. And then Dune Awakening actually is going to be coming out at some point, which is like survival game, but like in Dune.
Dune. Yeah.
Which is
Dune
like
is a survival game.
Dune, by its very nature, is a survival game, so it makes perfect sense that they're doing that.
Do you have to do the walking on the sand that specific way?
I don't... Oh, man. I really wish that they did actually have those, because there are going to be the giant sandworms.
Yeah.
I
don't remember what it was. I've never read Dune, and I haven't watched it, because, oh boy, that's a long time.
There's so much lore around Dune. It is hard. Like, I saw the most recent movie, and there's going to be a second part to it.
How long was the recent movie?
2.5, 3 hours, something like that.
I would fall asleep before the end of that.
Surprisingly, I had no problem staying awake for it, though.
I lay down and want to watch something that's 30 minutes long and fall asleep.
And you fall asleep. Yeah, I know. That happens more and more to me, too, now. Maybe it's because we're approaching the sweet release of death. I don't know.
The Reaper is conditioning us.
The Reaper's reminding us of what our grave is going to be. What are your hopes for the future of gaming?
Games that hold my attention is actually a good hope.
Games that, for me, it's games that aren't going to be pay to win.
That's always a hope.
The hope is that they don't do what it looks like they're trying to do, which is take a lot of the mobile cash cow kind of.
This is why we're going to talk about Diablo 4 in the next one.
Yeah. Other things that I want more original IPs. I know that one of the reasons why they reboot a lot of series is, quite frankly, because the big gaming companies want a safe bet for something that has name recognition, so that they know that they're going to theoretically sell stuff on the back of a license. It's the same reason why you have sequels to movies, cinematic universes. It's the same thing. It's like you hope that you have a built-in audience. But the problem is that it eventually becomes completely stagnant and people lose interest in it over the course of time.
Yeah, kind of like them rebooting God of War.
At least with God of War, they actually had something to do. like at least with that one and the more recent Ragnarok, and it looks like they're probably stopping that story. From what I've heard, I haven't played it, but that Ragnarok is like the end of that like the end of this story arc. That they knew that they weren't going to wear out their welcome with many different iterations. There's only so many times you can hear Kratos go, boy. boy. Yeah. I mean, I would like to see new original IPs. The ones that I was just mentioning are kind of original IPs, some of them. So I want them to be good, and I want them to be substantial so that we can play other new things, and not just a copy of a copy of a copy of something that we played 20 years ago. So I'm hoping that stuff happens before the Spectre of Death comes to claim me.
There it is.
Ah! We froze again! No, we're good. We're good. The Spectre... We should have had the Spectre of Internet Death.
Always looming over the horizon.
Always looming over the horizon.
Sorry, always looming over the Verizon.
Yes! Perfect.